some fun games here from. This is just after a tournament. We were having a little bit of fun, and Jared had Data and Destiny. So this is a game of Data and Destiny cards, and Jared is with me commentating. How you doing tonight, Jared?
Hi, how you doing?
Doing good. And we have Adam here on the left and Spark Agency on the right. So Spark's pretty easy to explain. Let's go over that first. Do you want to explain how Spark works?
Yeah, so the way Spark works is the first advertisement that you res each turn causes the runner to lose 1 credit.
And
So
what are some advertisements there, like pop-up window, the campaigns? What else do you have there?
there's a special offer is a brand new advertisement trap card. It's a trap ice that when the runner runs into it, the corp gains 5 credits and you trash it.
And so ideally you want to trigger this ability on both turns. So you end up doing weird things where you'll res something like launch campaign or pad campaign on your turn, and then hopefully the runner will hit something like a pop-up window on their turn. And Adam is very complicated.
Yeah.
How would you explain how Adam works? So Adam is a Biroid, right?
Yeah, Adam's a Biroid, and so to match that theme, they really force you to play these cards at the beginning that have very specific rules, and you feel like a machine playing it for sure.
So just like Asimov's 3 rules of robotics, you have 3 directives that you must play. So those are the 3 cards that are already on the table. They are these resources. They are not part of your deck, and you start with them automatically. And there's 3 directives, and you must start with 3 unique directives. And so I guess I should say we're also playing this game right here. So I am playing on the right, Brian, and Jared's playing on the left. And do you want to go over these directives?
Yeah. So the one that's on the far side of the board is called Always Be Running. That one is it forces Adam to make his first click has to be a run or a run event each turn. But it also has the ability where Adam can spend 2 of his clicks to break a subroutine once per turn during a run.
Which is very thematic with the HB's Biroid. So here you can see where a campaign gets rezzed immediately. You wouldn't usually res Adonis campaign just like that, but I do that just to drain one of your 5 starting credits. So here we go. There's where you have to make that run. So you
Yep.
use a run event, and Dirty Laundry with HQ wide open will satisfies that directive.
Yeah, and so that goes right into that directive that's closest to the ID there.
Yeah, why did you just access 2 cards in HQ?
Okay,
there?
so yeah, that one is called Neutralize All Threats, and what that does is it gives Adam a second HQ access. It's like a HQ interface, but it also makes it so that the first card he accesses that has a trash cost, he has to trash it, if able.
Right, so you lose that decision to trash the first card each turn. You must trash it if
Yep.
able. And what is the 3rd directive? Let's talk about that before we get into this card just played.
Okay, so the 3rd directive, it right away reduces your hand size by 2. But at the end of your turn, if you have less than your maximum hand size, you get to draw a card. So it's very good free draw, but it starts out by reducing your hand size.
Right, and you're immediately in threat of something like Sea Scorch, which is really interesting with Adam. You have to be careful, especially when you're forced to run on that initial turn. You can very easily just get Sea Scorched in turn 2. And so you just installed Dr. Lovegood. That will blank one of these cards, right?
Yeah.
At the start of the turn, you choose a card, and Dr. Lovegood will just blank that card.
Exactly, and so you kind of have to set up, decide what you're going to do for a certain turn, and have Lovegood blank something for you.
So you're choosing... Which one are you choosing here?
It looked like it was the one that forces you to trash the Neutralize All Threats.
So yeah, you are playing a run event here to start. Yep. And, ooh, Data Raven. So that is not an advertisement. You do not lose the money. But it looks like... Oh, yeah, so you take the tag and then you click through it. So you use your Biroid ability, your Always Be Running ability to click through the
Exactly.
subroutine. You get an Astro script for it. And that was also a very risky Dirty Laundry that totally paid off. So you clear the tag as your last click.
Yeah. Well, once you have that E3 feedback implants, you can, you spend 2 clicks to click through one subroutine and then pay through the rest.
Right, so you can make it work for you where it's not as inefficient. But eventually, I think you want to be avoiding that Always Be Running directive. That was one that I thought was the most risky of the 3 directives.
Yeah. It's really easy to fall into the trap of I'll just run and then click through this subroutine, and then you lose your whole turn, and then next turn you do the same thing.
Right. Yeah, I think I got stuck into that trap in one of the games we played. All right. So it looks like I just installed another couple servers here. And you're blanking always be running this turn.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be a very common thing for Atom players to be blanking that one. Lucky Find. So Lucky Find, this is a neutral. No, it does cost influence though.
Yeah, it does cost influence.
So how did you play with the influence? So Adam has 25 influence, which just seems like quite a lot, but these mini factions, they only have about 5 or 6 cards each.
Yeah.
So where did you spend your influence here?
Well, Adam's kind of hard because he doesn't have any breakers in faction. So this deck
is his own breaker.
Yeah, and so this deck focuses a lot on using Overmind and then Fems. So a lot of the influence isn't spent on breakers; it's spent on supporting that weird rig there. So I spend
Right.
influence on E3. There's influence on economy in Lucky Find there, just because it's really it gets you a lot of bang for your card.
Sure, there's a reason why Lucky Find does cost influence. It's just so much economy for one card slot, and I could see why you have included that with Adam. So you're blanking. I can't remember the name of this one. That's not neutralize all threats?
Yeah, that's neutralize all threats.
Oh, so you're blanking neutralize all threats. So you're not going to have to trash cards.
Yeah.
And I did get another Adonis campaign resed here on the previous turn. I feel like Spark players are going to be using this pattern of resing their campaigns a turn before you usually would, just to drain an extra credit. It seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So often what you'll do with that type of thing, it's better like a pad campaign where you're not investing that much money up front. But you'll put a pop-up window or a special offer in front of it, right? So that it pays out no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's another really good neutral economy. Did you not really want to spend influence on economy?
Yeah, I was trying to fill it out with as much, neutral cards first, and then try to save the influence for, doing the crazy stuff.
Right.
I also spend influence on multi-axis for R&D. You already have neutralize all threats for HQ, so I have R&D interfaces in there.
Sure, that makes sense. And so talking about Spark here, what is you also built a Spark deck? I'm playing it, but you built it. So what is the overall game plan with this deck?
Yeah, so Spark, I really liked this new card called Keegan Lane, which allows you to remove a tag from the runner to trash one of their programs. And so I kind of built this deck that was about using the Spark advertisements to mess with the runner's economy, and then trash their breakers with Keegan Lane and Power Shutdown.
Okay, so rig suppression here.
Yeah.
And that is definitely a Keegan Lane on HQ. I think that's the only upgrade you have in this deck, right?
There's SanSan in here as well.
Oh, okay.
But
so
yeah,
probably not
it's unlikely
a
it's
SanSan there on HQ. Can you even install SanSan? I guess you can install SanSan on HQ,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes the best Caprice bluff.
So that means that we probably have a Data Raven on the outside of HQ above the Enigma is most likely.
Yeah.
Although you're also running Gutenberg, right?
In this deck list, no, there's no Gutenbergs in here.
No Gutenberg.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, these decks are very experimental at this point too.
Sure. Yeah. These are These are cards that are not going to be out for at least another month here. We're commentating on the night of September 5th, so yeah, this Data and Destiny is still about a month off here, at least. It's really interesting now that they've released these cards. Essentially, like, a lot of people are playing these on online platforms, and then you and Jamie bought this on eBay to play ahead, and so it's weird getting sort of a taste of all these cards a month and a half before they release. It's going to be really interesting for Worlds. Okay, so your blank can always be running here, which makes sense because you don't really have a good target to run on right now. I mean, you could go after that Adonis campaign, I guess would be your best option here.
Yeah.
But it would be costly.
Exactly. I kind of wonder about how to play against Spark, if it's the right idea to try to stop all of these advertisements. But after they've already been rezzed, you've already lost your credit.
Right. More lucky finds. So your economy seems to be doing quite well here. You just played a sure gamble. You have your daily cast still paying out, and then another big burst here. So what are you building towards right now? Are you trying to kind of get a overmind set up?
Yeah, so I want to get like
that was not what you meant to be playing.
No.
There you go. Okay, RDI out.
Yeah. So this deck I kind of play really aggressive early on, and then try to get Adam's console. Which,
oh yeah, let's talk about what is his console.
Okay, so his console is called Brain Chip, and it's got an interesting thing where it gives you memory equal to the number of agenda points you have stolen, and maximum hand size increase equal to the number of agenda points you've stolen. So if you're really aggressive in the early game, the console will have you a lot of memory and a pretty decent hand size increase.
Which also works with his directive, which is it neutralize all threats? Is that the one that draws you the card?
No, that's safety first.
Safety first, right? Yeah, safety first will draw you a card if you're below your maximum hand size, and usually your maximum hand size is 3. But with his console right now, if you install his console, you got 2 agenda points stolen, so you'd be up to 5 hand size.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite directive of his. Just playing the little bit I played with them and seeing you play it. That one it seems like it's the fastest to turn into pure benefit, where always be running and neutralize all threats still have these like downsides. So you're trashing Jackson Howard here on the R&D.
Yep. And that's neutralize all threats. I didn't really have a choice there.
Oh, and so much money. 16 credits here.
But this Adam deck also plays Fem in order to get past some nasty stuff, and I think after seeing that upgrade, knowing it's a Keegan lane, I'm trying to find a Fem for that Data Raven.
Yeah, you're pretty certain that is a Keegan lane, just because you know the deck, and I mean it makes sense for it to be a Keegan lane once you see Data Ravens. Lots of ice being installed here. Don't like that RDI online. And what do you think? So that's 15 minutes that was scored, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a new agenda as well. And I think I just decided, I put it down and figured if you stole it, it wasn't a big deal. And I just found a window to, where I had time to score it. So points are on the board.
Yeah. So that agenda, in case the viewers don't know, it's interesting. It has when the runner, it's active in the runner's score area, and the corp can spend a click, and it shuffles back into R&D. So if the runner steals it, it can be temporary, basically.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to put some card images on the screen for these games, so for the new cards at the very least. So I'm not going to assume everyone knows these cards already. So, you're running HQ. You don't have any programs out.
Yeah.
But no, you can't get through Enigma, so. Oh, is this your always be running run?
Yeah.
Oh, you just let it end the run, sure. But that was good because it didn't really cost you. I mean, it cost you a click, but you got some information. You know for sure it's the Data Raven now, in case there was any doubt. And it cost me some money.
And there's the Brain Chip that I was digging for.
Right, so you have the little 2 counter on it because you have 2 points stolen from the Astro scripts. Now your hand size is 5 and your memory is +2, right?
Yep. So that'll make those Overminds have some extra power.
Yeah, the Overmind makes a lot of sense here. So you run 3 Overminds probably?
Yeah, 3 Overminds.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that Astro is just down on the table, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the problems I've had with this deck is, if I don't get my Overmind, then I'm limited to only breaking subroutines with Adam, with Always Be Running.
Okay, so you're running R&D for your first mandatory click. What is that?
That one is the advertisement, the new one. It's called a special offer.
Oh, right.
It's the trap.
Kind of a trappy thing. Yeah, so if you can't break it, which it's just a trap type. It's not a code gate, whatever. So, this is an interesting call here. Do you spend the clicks to break it? Well, let's find out. Special offer it causes the runner to lose a credit, because it's an advertisement, and it gives the corp 5. So it's a net gain of 4. Although I did have to pay 2 credits to install it above there, so I'm not sure if that was really an efficient thing to do. So you
Yeah.
just let it end the run, and you're going to get some more card draw going here with Earthrise Hotel. And you get that free card draw. Look at that. So good.
Yeah, safety first is a really, I think it's probably the best directive.
Oh, man. Okay, so this R&D here, if you get a breaker online to break Lotus, then you have to deal with the Keegan lane. So this could make sense just to click through, I'm thinking. And you also have the data folding because you are not using a lot of memory, so that makes sense.
Yeah, the data foldings are in there because that console's usually overflowing with memory, if you can.
Between data folding, Earthrise, and daily cast, were you tempted to put Career Fair in?
Yeah, I'd thought about that.
It's
it's
one
just,
influence, right?
yeah, it's an influence thing, and I'll probably take out a scavenge out of there.
Okay.
Because I'm running scavenges with to refill Overmind or Fem, change the target.
That makes sense.
But they end up, not. They often sit in my hand as a dead card, or they get discarded to not having enough cards in the hand to hold on to what I need.
Do you have a plan for wraparound?
Yeah, that might actually happen later in this game. I remember when we played this, I ran into a wraparound and realized I didn't have any way to deal with it other than femming it.
Right, which is not great.
Yeah. So there's definitely some adjustments that need to be made in that respect, but.
Yeah, just thinking about this game, you're really on the clock here. Those Data Raven Keegans are really slowing you down if Fem is your only option here.
Exactly.
What would also be good is, and I'm not going to remember the name of this card, but it's the Apex card, right? That blanks it prevents an on a counter effect.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of that one off the top of my head.
There's a Apex card that it prevents an on a counter effect. So it would prevent the Data Raven on and counter effect, for example.
Yeah, and Sunny has.
Oh my god! Explosion.
Sunny, who's the other new runner from Data and Destiny, has a console that's pretty good at bypassing stuff. So
yeah,
I realized
can't
today
imagine
that works.
Anyone's running that console except Sony. It requires so much link. There was I missed that. There was a power shutdown for 2 previously to get rid of the E3.
Yeah.
And here's multi-thread route. That's an Atom card, right?
Yeah, that's one of Adam's new programs. It's
This one is so good. I was using this one in a wizard deck, I think, online, and it is incredible. This card. It takes a memory, 3 to install, but you have reoccurring credits to use on programs. So it pays itself off really quick. Assuming you have programs you need to use. So this is definitely going to help your Overminds.
Yeah.
Get the strength.
And that's one of the good things about Adam is having that extra memory. He can have these. He's got the memory for the multi-threaders to just sit around.
Right. It does eat into your Overmind memory, but if you keep scoring some points here, it's not gonna be a factor. All right, so I just power shut down for 2 again. This time you decide to let the console go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had.
And here's another shutdown for 2.
Yeah, my reasoning here was I think that I had already discarded an E3 earlier, and then you power.
E3, so is that all 3 E3s in the trash?
I think so, if I remember right. At that point, I have no more E3s left in the deck, and so I was trying to preserve that, and I actually had another copy of the console in my hand.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so that's why I was willing to part with that one first.
Sure. No, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think I had the power shutdown sitting in hand, and I had the jacks on the table. I knew there wasn't agendas in archives, so I just decided you seem to really want the E3, so I should probably trash it. And that's what the Spark deck's about, right? Like disrupting the rig. And there you
Exactly.
go. So Heartbeat is back.
Brain chip.
Brain chip. Why did I say Heartbeat? Isn't there a Heartbeat card? Am I
Yeah,
making that
that's an
up in my brain?
Apex hardware.
That's Apex, right? We were playing Apex today, and I thought, okay. So was that your? Oh no, you blanked. Always be running.
Yeah. It looks like I'm going into archives there.
You know, I was reading what happens if the corp has ELP in play and you have always be running online. Um, like, do you have to spend that extra click? And apparently you don't, because it's an extra cost. It's an additional cost. And so what that means is you could decline to, when you have an option to pay an additional cost, you don't have to pay any of the cost, even if you must. That good example is NAPD. You don't steal the agenda because you're not going to pay the additional cost. So it turns out that with ELP Online, you can just ignore always be running. You don't always have to run, which is unintuitive, but that's apparently how it works.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So something to consider, I guess. ELP can be good for Adam.
Yeah. Adam's very interesting in just the way you can play him. The neutralize all threats card. It says that the first card you access with a trash costs each turn, you have to trash it if you can. But if you're accessing it on archives, you can't trash it. So, if you make a run on archives before you run on something that can be trashed, you don't necessarily have to trash the second one.
Oh, so this is just the first card you access each turn. It can be trashed. So if you go into archives, you're accessing a ton of cards in archives, but none of them can be trashed, so it turns off that ability.
Yeah.
And here's Launch Campaign Line, stealing another one of your credits here. This is a really good one to res in that pattern, because it only costs 1 credit, so you don't really care. And it costs 2 to trash, so you don't really care if they trash that.
Yeah, and then if there's like a pop-up window or another special offer in front of that.
Right. So this is comparable to Daily Cast, right? You get 5 credits profit off Launch Campaign over 3 turns. So it's similar to Daily Cast. All right, so here's some more of your influence here. 5 cards drawn.
Yeah, those were in there because I just felt like I needed to get through the deck, sometimes this deck felt like it had a lot of moving parts. So.
Sure, and still no Overmind played.
Yeah.
But it's tough. You need Overmind and you need Fem.
Yeah.
And then what are you targeting? I think you have to target R&D.
Yeah, that's probably where. We haven't seen a lot of agendas.
It
seems like you've been able to draw a bunch of advertisements and ice without too many agendas.
Right. And not a ton of economy. There was that early economy that paid out pretty good with the Adonis campaigns, but other than that, there's not been a lot of campaigns here and money. So at this point, I'm probably just on sort of an Astro Train type.
Yeah.
Although, with I don't know if I'm thinking Overmind. That might. I see E3, so I probably have figured out the Overmind thing. So it is risky for me to try and just score out an agenda here without the Astro script. Oh, install advance twice. Just as I say that, here we go.
Yeah.
What? I don't even know what's going on here. I forget, and I don't know your deck well enough. Is there Beal in the deck?
I think this might be the Global Food Initiative.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The Global Food Initiative, let's see, hopefully I put it on the screen, but it's a 5-3 for the Corp and 5-2 for the Runner.
It does cost 1 influence, though. It's a neutral card.
Yeah. And totally worth it. NBN's going to love this agenda. You already have Beal, which is essentially a 5-3 for the Corp and a 3-2 for the Runner, so this is another card like that. And Market Research is another similar card. Okay, here we go. Here's the play. So Fem going on to that Data Raven on R&D. We'll get a little token on that. So Keegan is offline. You will not be tagged. And you're clicking through, it looks like?
Is that what's happening there?
I'm not sure. You must have blanked always be running, right? Because I don't think we had an initial run.
No.
So always be running is the one that gives you the 2 clicks, right? So you
Yeah.
probably that might have been like a weird thing where you thought you were gonna be able to click through it, but then realized that you had blanked it.
Yeah, I think I had misplayed that one and blanked the wrong card.
But you needed to because you needed to get that fem out before you ran. So this was just the order you need to do
Yeah.
this in.
And that's one thing about Adam is I'm very much, as I'm playing him more, learning that he's got a definite flow to him.
Right. There's a little bit of setup here. Man, that 2 card combo of Data Raven Keegan is so potent.
Yeah.
So always be running being blanked again. So that means without here we go, Overmind. So now you can get in, and you have 6 memory, 3 of which is being used. So you should have 3 tokens on there if I'm doing that right.
Yeah. And of course with the E3 out, that would have been not too bad having 3 tokens, but
sure.
Yep.
Oh man,
Yep.
Here we go.
And there's that wraparound.
There's that wraparound.
And here I think I ended up eating the in the run, but I sit there debating whether it would have been worth it to dump money into it.
Do you have 10 credits? It looks like something like that, or 9?
I've got 10 credits right there.
10 credits,
and then 2 more on multi-threader.
Right, 2 more on multi-threader, and it would have cost you 7 to get through the wraparound.
Yeah.
There's another wraparound. So this is why I was feeling confident with. So I noticed I just advanced a global food initiative on the previous turn. I was really worried about that RDI, and I guess I was confident enough with the wraparound. You could have gotten through that wraparound, though.
Yeah. I think I probably should have just pushed on through that one there, but I wasn't quite sure what that second ice was.
Right. The launch campaign finished up. Yeah, if that's another wraparound, then you're really sad. All right, so we'll score it out. So that is 3 points. So we're looking at 6 points scored. There's not another 15 minutes in the deck. Another launch campaign. All right. Launch campaign's really nice to sit in your scoring remote while you're waiting for some other agenda to come out.
Yeah, you don't really feel bad about getting rid of it early.
So is Beal's in this deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now, oh man, you really need to get into R&D. Here we go. First click R&D. So always be running is gonna. Looks like you're probably gonna click through. Oh, you're spending some money here for wraparound. Maybe. I don't know. You might have. I think you probably clicked through the.
Yeah, I clicked through the wraparound, and then that money was for Lotus Field.
Lotus Field, and then you spend 1 to bypass it. Ooh, Beal. 2 Beals is perfect. That was such a good run.
Yep.
So there's Keegan. Oh man, yeah. I don't know if you needed to try.
Yeah, I
Keegan
guess I probably could have left him there. I don't know. I've been so afraid of Keegan.
Yeah, I'm so low on money that the chances of me like getting another Data Raven on that server or something is. Oh man, did I draw into it, or I didn't draw into it? There we go. That's game. So I was just holding on to that. I was holding on to that breaking news for a while. I think I remember seeing it in my hand. That was an incredible R&D run there. Two of the Beals, I guess there was still another Beal and another Astro on the deck, ignoring the breaking news. But that was the game. It was really fun to play. I mean, I didn't have a lot that I was doing on my side, but there was a lot of crazy stuff going on your side of the table.
Yeah, Adam's always an adventure. Every time I've played him.
I wonder how much the E3 trash can slow you down, because there weren't really any multi-subroutine ice there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might make sense to hold off on an E3 install until at least you have... Maybe you had a hand size issue, but at least until you have the Overmind out.
Well, I mean, I like to use it with the always be running, where you click through something and then you pay with E3 if you need to get through. I mean...
Sure, if there's another subroutine.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, I guess there's not... This deck is pretty...
I hope that I respected the you must make a successful run thing with power shutdown, because I often forget that condition. So All right, so let's cut this video here, and we'll probably commentate this switcheroo game here. But
Okay.
let's end it here. Any last comments you want to talk about the Atom or Spark?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for watching the Data and Destiny, and we'll do a few more of these Data and Destiny games hopefully up on the channel pretty soon. So look forward to those. Thanks everyone.